Alright, greetings everyone, let's get to it. Today I have for you a incredibly fun deck list that I've been playing here on Master Duel. I have a few, but this plants has by far been what I've enjoyed the most, and this is a Sunavalon plants, specifically Link plants, a Sunavalon, Sunavalon? Yeah, so let's just kind of get into the deck profile. I'm going to talk about everything that's in it, all the strategies that we have based around the cards that we're running, and I'll be showing you some combos, a couple of situations on what to do going first, going second, how to battle through disruption and the like. So first off, we have the star of the deck. It all starts here. This is a one-card combo that leads to a pretty insane board with at least these names are always messing with me. Behangla Hanser and Teardrop the Rika Queen. At least those two. You can go full combo and end up with Cactus Bouncer, but we'll talk about that in a second. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. So, Sunseed Genus Loki. It starts everything. It goes into Sunvalon Dryas, which gets you Sunvine Sowing, which finds you Sunseed Twin. Sunvine Healer pops out with that, and then Sunseed Twin gets the Sunseed Genus Loki on the board, and then boom. You have one card turned into four, and you just keep going and going and going. Turns last forever. Next up, we have Arrowmage Laurel, crucial part of the combo. And you kind of want to see this in your hand if you want to extend your combo a little bit. Sunseed Shadow, another combo extender. Maxi, because we're running Crossset Designator, and it's just crucial to be able to try to deal with that. That's why we're running just one of the Maxis and 3 Ash Blossom, 2 Called By, and 1 Crossset Designator. Maxi really messes with us, and so does Ash Blossom, and I'll explain that in a little bit. 1 Lone Fire Blossom, we already talked about Sunseed Twin. You don't want to draw this card, but that's why you only want to run one of them. It's kind of rough. It uses up your normal summon, which we'd rather use for other things if you draw it. But Lone Fire Blossom, pretty good card. I've cut it down to 1. It helps battle through disruption, and it's just overall pretty powerful, but it does kind of run into our adventure package a little bit, which I'll explain why that's so crucial to have. Ash Blossom playset, Rose Girl combo extender, and then here we have the Adventure Engine. This is pre-nerf. I know that the nerf is coming. It's going to be limited to 1. Water Enchantress of the Temple. But the thing is, Foolish Burial is just another copy of it, and we can also use it to target our Sunseed Shadow. So Foolish Burial is going to kind of make up for that for us, which I'm looking forward to implementing here soon. But for now, I'm going to be running, I'm just going to be running 2 and the Foolish Burial because it's what's currently available. But when this goes down to 1, you could easily toss in, if you want to better going second, maybe Nibiru. You could easily toss in even another Maxi if you wanted to. Or there is another extender. I mean, it's not an extender. It kind of just draws you a card, I guess you could say. So it's not necessarily an extender, but Arrowmage Jasmine is worth consideration. I just took it out because I was running for a little bit, but I took it out because it was kind of hard to make work, but it can draw you another card, which can potentially extend. Cactus Bouncer, really fantastic card. He allows us to set up what might as well be a Scythe Lock. I mean, with Hauke Fibrax getting banned, you can't Scythe Lock people anymore, or at least it's not going to be easy, not nearly as easy as it was before. And with the boards that we can end on, which you'll see in a little bit, Cactus Bouncer it might as well be a Scythe Lock because you have so much defense with Teardrop, which tributes a monster at instant speed. Or sorry, I'm a Magic player as well, so you're gonna hear me say instant speed and Magic terms here or there. But and then, or you can bounce a dude with this, which is that's gonna be the game that you play is protect Cactus Bouncer. Essentially, when you have an end board, when you have your optimal end board, your opponent's gonna need like 3 at least board breakers, or something like a Lava Golem or Kaijus, things like that. They just have to have it. Wandering Griffin Rider, part of the Adventure Engine. Snowdrop Rika Fairy, also a part of the combo. You can draw this, and if you draw this, I wouldn't call this an extender, but it means you get to go full combo. I think you need at least 2 pieces to go full combo. It depends on what items that you have, but if you have like Snowdrop in hand and a Sunvine Sowing, for example, or if you have Sunseed Shadow and Arrow Mage Laurel, or even the Unexpected Die is our best starter, is our best card to start with. Nibiru's kind of just in here for Crosslight Designator. I used to run 2 Crosslight Designator. I was considering going to 3, and then it got limited, so we just got to work with what we got. Foolish Berry, we talked about that. 1 for 1 is basically another Unexpected Die. It's kind of just, it helps us a bunch if we're able to not have to use our normal summon. It's fine if we have to use our normal summon, which is why we're running Painful Decision, which finds you a Sunseed Genus Loki and puts 1 in the yard. Sunvine Sowing is a crucial part of the combo. Small World helps you find Sunseed Genus Loki. It all revolves around him. Part of the adventure combo we all know and love, so is Dracoback. Another thing about Dracoback though, this actually can target our Sunseed, and we can use it to bounce things, and it really helps with our ability to break boards, because plants kind of have an issue with breaking boards sometimes. Part of the adventure combo, this card is what you search if you already have a Sunvine Sowing in hand. So you search for this instead, and this helps extend your combo into the preferable combo that we can do. Called by the Grave, you have to run 2 of these. It's really strong. Crosslight Designator, really important to run. Infinite Impermanence, partially for Crosslight Designator, but also we have a little bit more interaction. And then Sunavalon Bloom, which is searched out by the Sunavalon Dryad Trentier. Sorry, Dryad Trentier. This guy, he big plant. Teardrop, kind of our boss monster. I'd say it's our most important boss monster, but honestly, this guy is pretty crucial too. I'm looking for a replacement for him. He was in here from a different deck list that I had. I had found it off someone on YouTube that it was based off of running Parallel Exceed and some other Rika cards in order to get this card out and for extenders, but I found that it was a little too inconsistent and took up a lot of space for that combo. So it's in here. You can use it, and it's totally possible to use it to where essentially it sets up at least a monster Omni Negate that does destroy, but you can also set up a trap Omni Negate. So you get to pick which one you have. It just depends if at the very end of your combo, if you have a spell you can activate or not. You want 3 of these, although you can cut it out to 2. I'd say that this is a flex spot, and maybe one of these Sunavalon Dryas is a flex spot, but you need 2 Sunvine Healers, I'm pretty sure. You're more often going to want 2 of them. You could go down to 1 Sunvine Thrasher. There's a way that you can just set him up to have 4,000 attack and swing twice with him. You have to have 2 Aromatherapy Jasmines. So what he allows you to do is go and search this up. And he's kind of our only board breaker, but the issue with that, you have to get to like a Link 4 monster in order to do so. And that, like, if your opponent has already disrupted you by then, like, what are they doing? Or like, you know, they already had a pretty weak board to begin with. But this guy is a combo extender because he can bring himself back from the yard, and he's just a really fantastic disruption tool because he can bounce a guy at the cost of life points. Sunavalon Malias, basically you summon him, you get special summon him, and you get back a Sunseed Genus Loki. And also, additionally, he works really well with Sunvine Thrasher. But do note, this is a plant link monster deck, right? This doesn't point down. You don't want this guy in the main monster zone. You're generally going to want him off of, I guess, maybe a Dryas, as I show you in one of the things, but more commonly, you're going to want it off of Sunavalon Dry Trenchier. And then this just heals you. It just extends the combo. And what this card does is it allows you to search your deck for 2 cards. Normally, it's going to be Snowdrop the Rika Fairy and a Mardell Generator Boss of Light. And then that will find, if you have the full combo, Cactus Bouncer. So that's kind of an idea for all the cards that are in here and why they're in here. But let's go ahead and get to some of the replays so I can show you some examples of what to do, a little bit of what not to do, but most of all, kind of what to expect from this deck. So I'll see you there. All right, and here we are. What we see right off the bat with this hand. Not usually happy to see Jericho back, but there are times where you can discard it and be happy with yourself. Foolish Burial can get us Enchantress. Unexpected Die, you always want to see this. This is like the best starter in your deck. It's fantastic. Always happy to see a Called by the Grave or Crossout Designator. That's great. So this is a pretty solid hand. If the Draco back was something else, namely a different extender or like a part of the combo that you normally would have to look for but don't this time, then that'd be awesome, but that's okay. Because again, it is still useful sometimes. So we start off with the unexpected die. And Maxi, right off the bat, gets us, so we have to Call by the Grave, because we're just going to special summon so many times, they're going to draw like 16 cards, so you just have to. There's no way around that. So with that out of the way, we're able to do what we want to do. And it begins. Sunseed, Genus Loki. So, we have this on the board. The thing is, as soon as we bring out Sunavalon Dryas, we're going to need to search for something, and we have to search for it. If this gets Infinite Impermanence or Effect Veilered or something like that, then we're a little bit dead in the water. So what I went ahead and did is Foolish Burial, because Foolish Burial will allow me to look for Enchantress, dump Enchantress, and start that whole combo. And if that lets us start that combo, then we're Nibiru proof, and he doesn't have... I mean, at that point, I'd imagine that he would Ash Blossom that, and if he doesn't have Ash Blossom, then we're good. We're completely home free. Just time to do the entirety of the combo, so... Okay, go ahead and speed through this. This is the adventure combo we all know and love. Some people hate. I love it. The thing about the adventure package is that it provides what plants don't have, which is ways to interact with anything other than monsters. Plants can only interact with monsters. For example, this can bounce a monster. This guy finds a trap that basically, you know, silences all monsters. It's like a one-sided skill drain for everything that's on the board. I know there's a card name for that, but it escapes me at the moment. But it deals with monsters, and this is the only card that we have, which is why I have it in here, that can affect at least affect spells, but not traps really, because there's no way that you can summon it and then activate a trap. I guess you could somehow, but you're not gonna be able to do that because you're not gonna have two traps in the yard, because he needs to have a trap in the yard in order for that to work. And the issue with him is that normally, well, we'll get there. Anywho. This also interacts with monsters, so everything we have interacts with monsters. We don't have any other ways to like negate things, so they just go Regeki, and you're like, all right, I'll pick them up, and good game. So it's kind of crucial to have the adventure package with this Omni Negate. It does kind of also help our longevity a little bit too, and in games that go a little bit longer, having this inevitability factor of Fateful Adventuring every turn. And be able to bounce something every turn, potentially. So that really, really helps us out as well. Although, you can get a combo going for, you know, if your opponent's able to break your board or doesn't leave you with very much, or you just have by the end of your combo, you just have one of these, or you just have an extra one in your hand or something. You can recover. It's kind of hard to do. You're mostly spent by the time that you finish your first turn combo. But, anywho. We have up the Wandering Griffin Rider and an Adventure Token. Sitting here, ready to go. The thing about that is it just protects against Nibiru. Protects against anything that we need to worry about that could potentially stop us from doing what we want to do. And now we're just off to the races. It is smooth sailing from here. Now I get to show you the combo. Sunavalon Dryas. Special summon Sunavalon Dryas. Go grab Sunvide Sowing. What this allows us to do is find a monster, specifically Sunseed Twin. You want to find Sunseed Twin because he will bring back Genus Loki. And then Healer, picking the Dryas in order to gain, I believe, 300 life points there. Then you want to Aromatherapy, Jasmine. It doesn't matter which one that you tribute. It really doesn't. I like to tribute the Sunseed Twin primarily because there are things you can summon off of this. So if my opponent does do something to mess with it, then at least I still have access to. So we need the Aramage Laurel because after we tribute to grab it, you're going to link both of these off into another Aromatherapy Jasmine because it is not a once per turn effect, which means let's see here. All right, so this lands on the board, which sends the Laurel to the yard, and the Laurel triggers. You gain 500 life points. It gives you 500 life points, which allows you to search for 2 monsters. And the 2 monsters we're going to search for are the Rika card and then the Generator card. So, Snowdrop, Rika Fairy, Mardell. All right, so, and then why we linked into it, okay, here's at the part of the combo, that's almost always going to be the same. But here's the part of the combo where you can kind of change it up. Depending on what you have in hand, you can, instead of going into Beglahancer, you can go into Dry Tentrier instead and get the trap, and you would be able to like continue to combo to end up with a, if you had like, you know, let's say that this and this were different cards, then you would be able to extend it by going for a Sunavalon Malias by having a plant monster on the board. You link away the plant monster. You then use Sunseed Twin to banish the link monster, and then get and then bring back a monster from your yard, namely Aromaseraphy Jasmine. You then go into Malias. Where are you, Malias? I need to click on you. Oh, that's my graveyard. So then you will then go into Malias, which will get you back your Sunseed Genus Loki, also not a once per turn, and then that will get you into Beglahancer. Let us continue. But for now, what we're going to do is summon him because he has an effect that allows you to banish link monsters from your graveyard up to his link 4 amount. And when you do that, you get to special summon him back. But he'll get banished next time that he dies. So you have to make certain that you're doing it properly. Anyways, so Snowdrop the Rika Fairy, targeting Beglahancer, tribute it in order to special summon itself and Mardell. Ba-bink, ba-bink. And, okay, so if you already have Cactus Bouncer in hand, there are other things that you can search for Mardell. But namely, you're going to want to search for Cactus Bouncer. So that will allow us to end with the basically what I would call like the optimal board. There is one other card that you could have. You could have the extra link 4, but as of right now, it's, you know, this is kind of all we have, and this is all we need because this board. I honestly want to say I think I remember one time where this board has been broken. You had to have like the strongest of board breakers. So Snowdrop the Rika Fairy is going to want to target itself to make Mardell a level 8. This is where you get to decide. If you had a spell in hand, you could consider going into Sacred Tree Beast Hyperiton, and then have access to a spell negate and a monster negate that destroys. But usually you're going to be pretty happy with going with Teardrop because that's a really strong effect because it is a tribute effect. 9 times out of 10, that's usually what I do. Xyz into Teardrop. Beglahancer comes out. You want to put Beglahancer right here. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is our finished board. Yes, the turn's over. Isn't that crazy? We only took, I don't know, like 5 or 6 minutes every time. I just wonder like what my opponent's doing while I'm comboing. But anyways, you want to summon Beglahancer right here so that you can point to this space right here. For if for whatever reason your opponent just stalls or, you know, doesn't let you just win the next turn or doesn't immediately concede, then you want to be pointing to this zone right here so that you can still link summon. So what we have here is, and then we have the infinite impermanence, you know, any kind of hand trap that's left in your hand is a thing as well, but we have an instant speed tribute, instant speed bounce, and we take the damage, which is fine because we're topped off a little bit. They have to work from under the Cactus Bouncer, so they cannot special summon. While another plant monster is on the field, neither player can special summon monsters. We have an Omni negate, and then this guy, you know, won't die the first time you try to kill him. That's a lot to fight through. Honestly, I consider this more like a Scythe Lock sort of thing with like extra effort, but we have 2 ways to protect it. So he summons a monster, you know, like a Gunkin ship or something that has 2,000 attack. It doesn't even matter because we can bounce the first thing he does, tribute the second thing if he has anything, or negate whatever he might have to kill it. So we get to protect the bouncer while he protects us. So, you know, it's a symbiotic relationship going on here. So, I mean, what do you do? It's a hard board to beat, and going first, it's pretty consistent. I wouldn't call it like the most consistent deck. It's no like Tri-Brigade consistency, but it's really consistent in doing what it does best, which is going first. This is not really the best going second deck, so if that's what you're looking for, there are better lists out there. But I don't know, maybe you could turn this into a going second style deck, but I don't think this isn't the one. This would take a lot of modifications to really make it a going second list. So our opponent here, realizing defeat, someone's a biggity boy, and then concedes. Yeah. It's kind of hard to deal with that. I really like 9 times out of 10 when you get full combo, that's what your opponent does. They just concede because it's they need a lot to try to fight with what you have on the board there. So next up, I want to show you it's a little bit of a messy game. I'm not the most seasoned of Yu-Gi-Oh players. I kind of just started with Master Duel as it came out. I played it when I was a kid. Those, you know, sort of everyday. I'm sure you hear that a lot, but I never really played it competitively, just for fun as a kid. Watched the anime, but I love this game. It's a bunch of fun. It's like I'm used to playing Magic, and I still play Magic. I love Magic, actually. I have a deck list coming out here soon. But it's like every deck's a combo deck, or at least if you want every deck to be a combo deck, there's a lot out there. And it's fun it's like you're performing. It's like you get to be a thespian while you're playing this silly children's card game, and it's a bunch of fun. So we're going to go to the next video here, or starting the next replay here, and I'm going to show you a little bit of situations where it's a little wonky. You fight through a board state, you do your best to break a board, and how to go ahead and try to just finish somebody off after doing that, right? Because you want to, if you have to go second and you do get to break a board, then you want to be able to kill your opponent shortly thereafter. So I'm going to show you how to do that.